You've got it tuned to KEXP listener-powered radio at 90.3 FM in Seattle, 92.7 FM in the Bay Area at KEXP.org, and streaming on the KEXP mobile apps. I'm Cheryl Waters here in the KEXP studios with a band I have loved for many, many years. I'm so excited they are here today with a brand new record, Dog God, came out earlier this month. It is LA Witch. Welcome.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here. You all look amazing, and I know from sound check you sound awesome too. You ready to rock?
I guess so, yeah.
LA Witch live on KEXP. You're listening to LA Witch live on KEXP, a new album, Dog God, out on Suicide Squeeze Records.
Icicle, won't you cleanse my soul? You're a sharp and cold purity, come make me bleed. I saw the light exposing me. What I didn't want the world to see.
You're listening to LA Witch live on KEXP. Sounding so great here in the KEXP studios, it's LA Witch, songs from the new album, Dog God. Wow, that was awesome. Ellie Witch live on KEXP, songs from the newest album, Dog God. It is so wonderful to have you back in the studios. It's been a minute. Welcome back.
Thank you.
It's so great to have you here. And I was so excited to read about this new record and certainly to listen to it. It's definitely got some new vibes and new sounds. And I mean, LA is the band's home, and I'm sure it's a place that's near and dear to your heart. But you kind of shook things up a little bit with this record, and I heard you traveled to Paris, which is one of the most wonderful cities in the world. And I'm curious if you can just tell me about how it came to be that you recorded there, and just what was it like spending time there, soaking up all the culture and the architecture and all the influences. I imagine that it not only impacted the record, but just you as individuals.
Yeah, I mean, we've been to Paris a few times. We've played multiple times over the years, and recently I started to spend a little bit more time there. I started kind of trying to, experiment with playing with other people, and started a different side project and stuff. And so it was with the producer, actually. And so he showed me the studio, Motor Base. And so when I saw the studio, I was like, we have to record here. Like, the energy was super cool there. And I don't know, I think it's nice to get out of LA and nice to get out of your comfort zone. And I mean, as much as we love LA and stuff, I think it was just cool to, to kind of shift the energy somewhere else. And like you said, there's just, Paris is such a beautiful city and it has so much to offer. I think especially for artists, it's very nurturing for artists. There's so much, inspiration that you can get. Like, obviously, there's the architecture, there's food. I mean, it's the city of love, for a reason. It's just, there's just beauty everywhere, and so I think even on a subconscious level, you just are soaking that up. And so a lot of the lyrics were written there, and the instrumental pieces were mostly written like 2 months before the studio. So yeah, I mean, we just had a good time, and yeah, I mean, we're happy with the result and stuff, and obviously it's cool to record in Paris and stuff. So yeah.
You mentioned that the lyrics were written there in the city of love, and you're definitely pondering themes of love and devotion. I think a press release I saw, you said the album's both romantic and menacing. Tell me what the record's about.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of themes about, love in the songs and stuff. And the title Dog God, how you have two words, it's a palindrome, and it's supposed to kind of mirror each other, the word dog and God. And I thought that was just really cool, like visually and stuff. But also, I mean, for me, like, when you're in love, for some people, I mean, at least for me, you can have a feeling of feeling really strong, like you have like these superpowers or something. You feel like on top of the world, like super euphoric, and at the same time, like you feel like a little bit of like dependent on this feeling of love, and that's kind of like where the dog part comes on. So you feel powerful like a god, and at the same time you have a sense of like feeling a little bit like a dog, So I thought it was kind of a cool way to like. I mean, there's other things too. Like, I mean, I just like dove into like symbolism and stuff like that, and obviously we're all dog lovers. We love cats too, but
That's something we have in common. Love dogs and cats. Well, this is your first full-length record, I want to say 5 years. You mentioned that you've been busy working on other things and side projects, and I imagine a lot of life has been lived during that time. A lot of learning has transpired. It feels like you've really pushed your creative talents on this new record. You've added some new sounds. You said you fell in love with that studio. I imagine there were fun things to experiment with there. Can you talk about a little bit the way that your sound evolved and how that came to be and what you were really excited about that you did differently on this new record?
Yeah, I mean, I think like most artists in their life, they kind of, they want to evolve, they want to change, they want to, experiment with new, painters that you get to change their style completely, and I think it's the same thing with musicians too. Like, we don't want to be, like pushed into this like garage band thing. I mean, we have so many different influences and stuff, and I get that it's like the genre really helps to kind of find your people and stuff a little bit easier. But yeah, I mean, I think it was just a natural evolution, you know. I mean, it's like you said, it's been years since Play with Fire, and you know, the roots are in garage, psych, and but there's also a lot of like post-punk influences and other things too. And so I think you know, we just kind of naturally were like kind of gravitated towards like pushing forward. And it's kind of funny because if you think about like the era of like garage music, like 60s, 70s, and you know, a lot of those bands probably evolved over time. With the 80s, like they changed their sound, you know, like with different technology that was you know, like if there's new pedals or, you know, new like drum machines or synths or whatever. So it's natural that that would happen. And for us, like, I think that's like a thing, like equipment has something to do with helping like the evolution of sound. And yeah, I mean, you know, just kind of connecting with like our colder influences that were always there, but just, you know, showing that a little bit more in the writing. And I think going back to Europe and Paris, you know, there is a little bit of a darker medieval thing there too. Like you're surrounded by all this Gothic architecture, and I mean, a lot of those post-punk bands, you know, came from there. And so I think it's just kind of getting in touch with those like colder influences or whatever, or European influences.
Well, and it's wonderful that you do evolve. I mean, the DNA of LA Witch is still there, but it keeps it interesting for you to continue to grow and change so that hopefully you'll do this for a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things I notice on the new record is that you have a lot more space in some of the songs. I noticed that in Lost at Sea, which you just played at the end of that last set. And it must be hard as a band sometimes to not be afraid to fill all the space.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I think, especially for me personally, I always kind of felt that pressure of like trying to prove myself as a guitar player, and I realized that it's like, okay, you don't have to be doing solos and crazy stuff on every song. Yeah, I think a part of the beauty in music is the space and being comfortable with that space. And I think on this record, we really learned to appreciate that. So, yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful record. Dog God is the new record from LA Witch out on Seattle Suicide Squeeze label, a label you've been with since the beginning.
Yeah.
And we're so delighted to have you here today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much also to our listeners and viewers for making wonderful sessions like this possible. We are listener supported. You can make a gift anytime at KEXP.org and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll find out every time we launch a fabulous new video. There are thousands on the KEXP YouTube channel. Once again, a big thank you. It's LA Witch live on KEXP.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.